whatever. Total drama action. I don't have the name right yet. Total drama action, and this is definitely a season that is probably the most complicated season to talk about when it comes to total drama, at least nowadays. As of course, this was a continuation of Total Drama Island, and a lot of people think that Total Drama should have been just a one-season show. After watching this, you can kind of see why, honestly. Now, but again, I do have a lot of nostalgia for Total Drama action, like with, I mean, obviously I watch religiously, and I especially watch action religiously, like a lot with Island and World Tour. So again, I do have some nostalgia for Total Drama action. You know, I do think the season has gone down in quality over the years. I think it has probably for a lot of people, from the people I talked to that seen Total Drama action. I mean, I know some people that know like action, but I've always loved action. But yeah, this is a season that definitely has gone down in quality over the years. Now, I actually don't think it's a bad season by any means. I still have a lot of enjoyment. Again, some that give me nostalgia aspect, and there are some plays still do enjoy here. There are some episodes I enjoyed, some moments, and of course the fact that it's being what they on a film set and challenges based on movie genres, and obviously I love movies. It had a lot of charm to it. But this is probably a thing that does stuff a lot from sequelitis. And you can tell they don't really, not really show they won't really plan on doing with these characters or storylines or what they're planning to do. So they made some things up, and you get probably some of the weakest storylines in any Total Drama season. Some of the weirdest character shifts, and considering also what we know from later seasons of Total Drama, you can feel the start of some characters sort of get derailed a little bit, and there was also things that even when I was like, there was some things that even when I first watched action growing up, I was like, really? What? Growing up, I was like that. So again, not a bad season. I think I'm around this like 6 or 7 to my Total Drama ranking. I mean, I just don't think action overall reaches like the true highs of Total Drama Island, but we'll still on top of the episodes anyway, obviously. But just trying to get my full thoughts on the season as a whole. But thankfully, we actually do get off to a good start with the first episode of Monster Cash. Thankfully, we do like the premieres. Like I don't think there's ever like a true bad premiere, in my opinion, of Total Drama. Looking back on the premieres, I don't think there's ever like a true bad one by any means. And Monster Cash is no exception. I think it's actually another good premiere episode. I actually debate why I like this more than the actual premiere episode of Island, but I would say they're probably close in quality, honestly. But it just sets up what you can expect for better for worse in this season. A lot of the characters being reintroduced, and they're also more focused on characters that didn't get a lot of screen time in Island, like of course Justin, who definitely has an up down run this season in terms of quality, but we'll get into that. Beth also being one of the main, you can tell from the beginning was going to be one of the biggest characters of the season. Again, for better for worse, but we'll get there. Of course, to introduce with the Gwen Trent romance and the friendship between Gwen and Duncan, DJ being Crybaby, which is also going to be a storyline later on down the road. Jeff and Bridget still making out. They continue on that the Izzy wants to be called E-Scope or Kaleidoscope. And then we will answer, Izzy! I mean Kaleidoscope. E-Scope? Like, which also becomes pretty annoying. To a lot of contestants, I still find it very hilarious. I mean, it has always been a hilarious character, and for good reason. Especially along to the story of Island, in terms of the rivalries and all that stuff. And just honestly, I don't really have much actually to say about this episode, honestly. It pretty much says that we expect from action in terms of the challenge being again. The challenge being like a monster movie, basically just the way from monster, find the sets. You get some fun content, especially with Owen, who he ends up eating. When he ends up eating the meal that ends up being like wax or fake fruit props, like, yeah. But again, it's pretty hilarious on that stuff. You get some back and forth between a lot of the characters and some nice moments. Again, I don't really have much of to say about the episode, honestly. It's definitely still a pretty good premiere and really sets up the tone for the show for better for worse. So I say it does the job pretty well. And thankfully, episode 2, Alien Resurrection. Obviously, a reference on Alien Resurrection, honestly, but yeah. Aliens, obviously trying based on aliens, and I think this is another solid one, honestly. I don't really want to enjoy this more to me, honestly, but even though, because it does tear on the storylines that you can ends up not being like great later episodes. One's other trends like jealousy of Duncan and him being insecure, and and they basically try to get Trent personality this season, and if you're a Soldier fan, obviously I feel like they gave him the wrong personality to do so, which, yeah, we'll get there when we get there, but you still get a lot of fun interactions between all the characters. Some fun content with Beth, fun content with Duncan and Harold, some layers back and forth, some fun chef content, him being the alien. Chef actually ends up standing out a lot more this season, and you tell they want to get a lot more screen time than they did in the island, and they do a good job at it. And to find some pretty hilarious moments, then this is no exception. And the challenge was really fun. You get some homely moments with Trent giving up the egg for Gwen and the necklace. Well, the necklace did kind of come out of nowhere. It was still a pretty sweet moment. Mentioned the both win the challenge, and they realized they were going to be on separate teams this time. And them having to vote two players, and it's obvious it was going to be Jeff and Bridget because of their constant makeout sessions, which, yeah. So I have to be one I like this more than me. Honestly, I would say I'd put it slightly because it's a little more memorable than premiere episode, but still a pretty good one. And now we get to some of the weakest episodes now. Now we get to episodes that honestly I just don't really enjoy that much. While they might have some good moments here and there, as a whole, yeah, this kind of really starts the whole Trent jealousy arc, or the Trent being crazy arc, and the being weird arc, and yeah, you can tell me imagine that. Even growing up, I don't think I was ever a fan of that storyline. I don't think anyone's a fan here, because you kind of ruin a lot of this touching stuff that happened in Ireland, which is something that a sequel really should not do. And while Riot that's probably the best of that story, I still think it's an okay at best episode. But yeah, you still get some fun, charming moments, obviously. And Gwen Duncan has still have the fun ones. They focus a lot more on the Gwen Duncan friendship this season. They still have their good moments. And they generally have their good moments here. And this is no exception. It sounds based like an actual, they're making a scene for a film. And I think the best part is easily probably when they end up getting the script mixed up and Duncan actually give a compelling performance and ends up winning the challenge. And his reaction, how she ends up getting eliminated, is pretty hilarious. And also starts the whole DJ and Chef storyline where Chef says he's allowed himself in DJ and tries and forms a secret alliance with him to help him win this thing and split friends with him. Trying to make it a little more of a tougher person. But it's something I'm on, which honestly, storyline I'm fine with, honestly. Like, I never hated the storyline, honestly. It can lead to some fun moments here and there. Some compelling stuff for DJ, at least. It's definitely one of my favorites, but it's what I don't dread when it comes on. Like, I'm not sure how the fan base actually feels about the storyline. Let me know down below. But me, I've been pretty fine with it. What I'm not fine with is the whole Trent, the Trent, weird jealousy storyline. All the stuff that he says and him being jealous about him and Duncan and all the places he'll go to is just so cringy and so, my god. I'm not on that alone, but it's not as parents it is in the next two episodes we get into, but it's definitely not fun to watch, and it does bring this episode down. And it's just now it's a funny and memorable episode in general, so it's definitely a bomb so far. It's a perfectly fine episode, honestly. Perfectly fine. What is now perfectly fine is Bleach Blanket Force, which just goes full speed ahead on the Trent be weird, crazy jealousy storyline. Again, I have really no idea what they were thinking with the storyline. Like, and one, as a whole, this episode's not entirely bad. Like, not bottom tier of the whole drama. It kind of feels like that when you see a lot of the cringy storylines, all the stuff that Trent was willing to go for Gwen, and then the whole number 9 section that comes out of nowhere, and him being weird and off-putting and just questionable. Like, it's not fun to watch, man. You can tell it's not fun to watch. And there's a challenge based on the beach movie genre. I mean, you still get some fun moments here and there, especially everyone on the surfboard, and then Justin, he's still using his look to get anywhere. So in the season, it's basically him using his looks, and then Bev trying to get with him, and having a hard time giving her a friendship bracelet, which was a storyline here. And I've never been fond of that either, honestly. And Justin's character I've always been so up and down about. Like, he can have his fun moments. He can't be hilarious at times. I think he's more hilarious when on the show, which we'll get into. But right now he's just basically, but he's at the point where he's kind of just a one-note character and just using his looks to get what he wants. Though occasionally he can have his fun moments when he's not doing that. I think Justin's more of a better character when he's actually not like using his looks to get what he wants. Honestly, I think when he tries to use his smarts and can have the occasional fun one-liner, he actually can be a fun character. But again, he's just so painfully one note early on, like really painfully one note. Like you get it, you're smoking on, you're a model, you don't want this and you just want to be lazy. And you can tell by reaction times, like it's not something I'm not really fond of. I don't think anyone's particularly fond of that storyline, and I don't think I've ever been, honestly. But yeah, back to the whole trend situation again. We get the sandcastle scene where he tries to use like 9 doors, 9 everything, and 9 flags, and everything, and names like Castle of Gwen. And he's like Gwen trying to discuss that also. Line thinking that 4 letters and her 5 letters and him equals 9, which is like I do part I really enjoy about the whole trend thing is the whole DNC is the final challenge with this DNC yes we tries to be Lashana. And again makes for some fun moments honestly, especially them like being impressed by Lashana. Like DJ calling Shana La Bamba, which is something that always goes through my head, just a hilarious moment. Again, there definitely could be some fun hilarious moments here and there. But again, the whole chest stuff really kills this season 2. Why I wouldn't say it's one of the worst whole drama episodes I've seen. It's definitely going to bottom list so far. Very and Crazy, however, is one of the worst total drama episodes in my opinion. Not like it's shot people actually feel about this episode, but again, I didn't even going up. I was like, do I really want to watch this episode again? Like, what? Yeah, let's just get this over with. Yeah, it's a West Indian episode. Trent's still being weird, trying to throw challenges for Gwen. And it's so awkward and so cringy, all the stuff he says and all the stuff he does to hug Gwen and everything. And I thought in his confession where he goes, stupid, 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 actually hits his head. Like that gets old pretty fast, honestly. Even then, the show episode's not that funny. Don't have the distinct character moments aside from Shauna showing her butt to the view world, which falls on the horse and everything, and Owen being Owen. But aside from that, even that can't really save the episode. Then we get to the very infamous scene, the very, very infamous scene, which Gwen ends up breaking out of Trent reasonably and fairly. Even Jen was like, I hear you loud and clear, I totally understand. And yet they make Gwen trying to feel like she's the bad guy here. Which again, even growing up, I hated that. Like, sorry for going around, but I've always hated the fact that this breakup they tried to pin Gwen as the bad guy here, as the one that was like, it's wrong for breaking up with her. Like, I mean, she kind of had every right to say how Trent was acting. Like, I think people can't forget how Trent was acting. Finding out that that's just kind of true. It comes to us. Let me breakups honestly, or breakups happen on reality shows. But that doesn't make it any less fun, honestly, any less frustrating, because you really end up feeling bad for Gwen. This often kind of starts the downward trajectory that Gwen ends up going, especially in World Tour and especially All Stars. But again, we'll get there when we get to those seasons. But this kind of like signs that they don't really know what they want to do with Gwen, so they decided to have this storyline. Basically, Justin overheard anything, and when I met that he was from Johnson, but Gwen had nothing to do with it, which, you know, she didn't have nothing to do with it. She didn't. And she literally told them to vote Trent off, which theoretically they probably were going to do anyway, because, well, he kept throwing challenges. Like, who else is they going to vote out? And he said that they owed them for what happened. Okay. Again, I never got the focus on that storyline. I never got how they make not only Rose like very unlikable, but just putting Gwen in a negative light that she didn't need to. Like it somehow gets worse, honestly, but like that alone ends up, and also Trent does get voted out, honestly. Which again, this is easily one of the worst episodes of Total Drama in my opinion. I'm not sure where it's going to rank in the overall worst Total Drama, but it's definitely going to be probably bottom 10 at least. So yeah, easy worst episode of the season so far, and of the show in general. And unfortunately, that continues with the aftermath, which again, I think I don't think I was ever huge on the aftermath episodes, and yeah, and honestly, they're kind of true here. Honestly, like they definitely have some that better than others, and they do have better moments than others, but this was kind of starts the whole like Jeff being like an asshole for whatever reason. Like it obviously gets worse in the other two aftermaths, but it's kind of like starts that storyline which also something grab I've never been a fan of. Again, they kind of like parody on like the whole like, after shows and they can always do after someone gets voted out. I don't know, dude, I think it was like a big thing at the time. I don't think it's often anymore, honestly, and I mean it's more just interview type stuff and other reasons, but yeah, it's kind of yeah, they kind of like parody that honestly, and there are some fun moments here and there. Obviously, it's just not good when they kind of focus on the whole trend being like upset about feels like Gwen asking to vote him out. Jeff and Bridget getting into a fight about the whole thing, which is like, yeah, I'm not like, I don't imagine like anyone be against Gwen honestly, because again, they totally voted out because they were going to probably vote out anyway, and then I never got the whole them Jeff Bridget fighting over that storyline, like really, and then try to and somehow Trent actually ends up being like a normal person by realizing, oh hey, none of that didn't come from Duncan and Gwen. It's because my grandma died. She gave me a toy train. One of the wheels fell off. There were 9 wheels, and then 9 was a lucky number. Which is, it's a very heartfelt storyline moment, but like, really gonna be like this in the actual show? But yeah, overall, this first match was just fine, honestly. Like, it's definitely not as bad as the previous 3 episodes we talked about. And it does have its fun character moments here and there. And you know, some heartwarming moments, but it's one I would rather not. I don't ever see myself rewatching. It's, yeah, like Ryan said, it's a pretty fun episode. I probably would put it above that episode, but again, it's just probably fine. Unfortunately, the non-total episodes continue with the Chef Shank Redemption, which obviously is a parody of prison movies. As another episode that I'm also not particularly a fan of, and I didn't grow up, I never was a fan of this episode. Like, you do get some fun, horny moments, but you know, but the whole like DJ and Chef's alliance storyline continuing. The usual fun moments here and there. But I continue on with the Gwen hate train. Never really been a fan of that, and the whole deal they made, honestly, on that storyline, and then Gwen being Gwen and trying to throw the challenge. It was just not a funny episode. You get some very gross storyline. I mean, the scene that Beth, when they end up putting up Beth's retainer, has drop on it, and she has a punch back in her mouth. Or at least to Lindsay throwing up losing challenge, like, yeah. Yeah, probably, anyways, and not much to say. This episode is kind of gross, not funny. Gwen ends up bringing the kickovers, Easy has to come back. Easy ends up coming back to be voted out right on set. So they vote a kaleidoscope, so Easy ends up telling me back in the game. And then Gwen votes herself off, she ends up getting the boost. So, I don't know if I'll call it like bomb total drama, honestly, because it does have some fun moments, but it's also going on near the bottom of the list. Like, probably around, like, Peach Blanket Bogus. Thankfully, no, we get to some actual good episodes back this time. With One Flew Over the Cuckoos, which is often a period of Hobson movies and all that stuff, and everyone ends up, like, studying or what happened. Chess food actually ends up being good, because TJ ends up being a good cook, which you can continue that storyline. You get more Dunkers on the Duncan and Lashana dynamic and her one team up with Harold, which ends up becoming a big storyline for this episode and the episode. Harold and Lashana trying to give them Lashana trying to get them to work together to get rid of Heather. And then you get some really fun moments, challenge, and everyone thinking they have certain symptoms, certain symptoms, when everyone going crazy and insane, and Dr. Cha gets to the bottom of it, and turns out it'll end up being fake, and using inch-pound latches, and the spots end up being pepperoni. And you get some fun, hilarious moments with the cast from all that, especially from Heather and Justin and Beth and Izzy as well. And it starts the whole storyline where Shauna ends up crying to convince the team to let her go on the reward to see her best friend, and then she ends up being actually faking everything, which of course is a storyline that's coming prominent in later episodes. But overall, I would say this is actually a pretty good episode, actually. Not like top tier total drama, but it's definitely going in the tops. But I can say, it's definitely going to the top of the list so far. And then Rain continues with episode 9, The Sandwich Project, which is a horror themed episode, because obviously, and while it's up not as good as the horror episode in Island, honestly, and honestly, I don't think any episode will, it's still not a good episode, honestly. Again, being a combination of the whole like chef and DJ storyline. But yeah, it's still not I've been fine with, honestly, and I'm still fine with it here. Like, I actually do feel with DJ and the more dilemma he has to deal with here. I think it gives a fun character moments with Duncan, Harold, and Heather, and the interactions between everybody. It gives you a fun moment, and Lindsay trying to be a leader is actually pretty fun and interesting. Actually kind of refreshing, honestly. Like, I wish they were more consistent now, to being honest, but when it happens, it makes Lindsay actually a pretty damn good character, especially with her one-liners and her back and forth with all the castmates. And it's a challenge to see them trying to make challenge him to be a killer, like, raw! Ah! And of course, to make us even old, like, I love this business. We had to make it out Izzy, which is, oh my god, and thinking head trying to guess is also pretty hilarious. And Chef being Chef trying to get challenges, and then keep trying to cut the other team off. When just working when DJ gets involved. Which is the losing, but the guilt ends up affecting DJ so much, he ends up quitting the season and then into everything. The season's definitely awkward transitions, and you can tell them I have like 1 or 2 scenes kind of missing, but it's still a very touching scene and a perfect end to actually DJ storyline here. They like they don't like villainize DJ here, and they actually still make him the lovable goofball that he is. So yeah, I'm not very solid episode. I'll say it's I'd probably put it below the last one. And they think another episode with massive disasters. I think this also kind of starts the whole Beth having a boyfriend storyline. When Beth tries he has a boyfriend named Brady, and then that's a storyline that definitely has ups and downs, honestly. Like, there's some weird moments that happen in that storyline that we'll get into later, but I guess it's not one I'm probably fine with, honestly. It's weird that Beth tries to still everything with Justin in this episode, but overall, I'm not toast to it. It's definitely makes us a cringy moment, especially this episode, and that's really the only major issue I have with this episode. And this is a challenge that pokes fun at disaster movies. And you get some fun challenge character moments, some fun interaction with all the characters, especially the whole Beth and the boyfriend thing. And then Owen ends up getting his job. And Owen ends up, buffering him, and his jaw basically is broken. Yeah, a broken jaw. When you end up feeling bad for Owen in this episode. And you get a hold of them trying to escape the water storyline, which is definitely one of those hilarious things ever when Chris realizes, the water's getting pretty high and we don't want him to die. Like, trying to spend his own weird way, Chris actually cares about them, honestly, and shows a little bit of humanity, Chris, which obviously gets missing in later seasons, which we'll get into. Showing actually concern for contestants. Which I was like, yeah, what up? One place again? You're not hearing me. What? Just one? And then the moment we see Harold actually using his skills to escape. Okay, which makes actually a pretty good moment, another great moment for Harold again. Also, just mentioned Harold's problem at the start of the season, in my opinion. Harold has so many great hilarious moments again. Also, that moment in the one whole solution that we ends up making his real name's Doris, and he's like, please don't talk about the Doris part. And he ended up telling fucking anyway. But Harold is, in my opinion, the MVP of the season. Like, I always loved Harold and Island, but he ends up stealing every single scene that he's in, and this is no exception. So, yeah, another good episode. I probably put it above I probably put it below one flew over the cuckoo's butt, probably about the same project, so probably in the middle of the last 2 episodes we talked about. And we continue the good episodes with Full Metal Drama, which I'll say is as right now my favorite episode. I don't have any episodes up topping this, but it's definitely top of the season so far, that's for sure. They continue on with all the character drama and also Max's asses. They end up finding out about the whole Lashana faking crying honestly, which doesn't come in a promised storyline in the next few episodes. Episode, I think it's not too prevalent here, but the team trying to work together, which is kind of pretty hilarious. And Lindsay's still trying to Nick herself and Lindsay her hotness, which gets me every single time. Izzy ends up becoming a new personality in Explosivo by trying to explode things. Explosivo! Oh, Explosivo! Boo-hoo! Ba-boom! Which makes some pretty hilarious moments. Everyone finally getting tired of Justin being lazy and everything, and they're like, what? What? I think, to be honest, I think Justin's a lot better character when he's not, like, flaunting his hardness and everything. Like, I don't think Justin's, like, a bad villain, honestly, but when he's, like, more of a human and also trying to use his brain instead of his hardness, it actually can be pretty fun. It actually makes some pretty hilarious moments. And there's also the war episodes and them trying to, and the challenges that makes some pretty fun moments, especially when trying to take these shakes that we miss the DJ cooking, which then we use for Owen, basically for trying to help him, like, and it's still going on with the job, what happened in the previous episode and everything. And again, he's a very fun character moments, and always fun seeing how when they actually try to work together, not like, you know, making fun of each other, but even then they still have the fun moments here. Again, trying to stop help China, basically trying to one really actually works in this episode. And then seeing they end up opening the trunk, then they end up bring back ends up being empty trunk, like the madness of war, and ends with episodes evil getting voted out. So yeah, pretty hilarious episode, top of the season so far. And unfortunately, we get to a bad episode with the aftermath to Forgive and for Gwen, which continues on with the whole like Gwen hatred storyline, which again, why? Why? I'm not really a fan how they treat Gwen this season, and there's no exception, but how they hammer in on certain things involving her, me on the relationship with Duncan, and Courtney like booing when she goes on stage, like, and of course Jeff being like an asshole, which is pretty one ageist character from Island, and which obviously is complete A to his character, where he's like the most wholesome, kindest person ever. But in this season, he just wants to get the ratings and everything, and it's just like, wow. And it's not fun to watch. Again, even growing about like I was a fan, how Jeff acted and the whole Gwen storyline. Like you do get some fun moments here, especially when bringing DJ. DJ honestly, you also get this fun little sequence where they kind of have a Gordon Ramsay parody, and after seeing a lot of Gordon Ramsay more stuff, it's more hilarious. So he tried to make the sandwiches that DJ ends up making. And it's like there's a stupid green I can't figure it out, and where he ends up kind of be like Gordon Ramsay, like throwing shit and everything. Dang, and of course Jeff ends up barely calling Bridget fat here. So yeah, moving lips to let down hips. I believe that's how he said it. How that goes at least. Yeah, that was not fun to watch. But DJ be wholesome, does outfits up a little bit, and actually how he's nice to everyone else and everything. Even the DJ mom kind of give DJ and the throwing stuff at Jeff was pretty hilarious. I do have some hilarious moments here, but as a whole, it's an episode that's going like near the bottom. But thankfully, we get to another solid episode in Ocean's 809. We're already halfway point of the season, which is insane. And again, he's on the storyline and one being mad at Lashana. And you get to find some interaction between Harold and Heather this episode, which brings us some pretty hilarious moments throughout. Along with Duncan as well, being Duncan. Again, it wasn't that bad show. Duncan, Heather, and Heather have some pretty hilarious and charming moments throughout, and this is no exception. And Owen ends up getting shot first when he actually can eat again, and then man try to calm down because it ends up being hungry for a majority of the episode. Again, they kind of have a Hulk parody reference. You won't like me when I'm hungry. And they basically kind of bury the Hulk and everything, which makes it pretty hilarious moments. And of course, just the infamous moment where they actually bring back Courtney into the game because her still being beat about what happened in season 1 and then not feeling that she ends up wanting to return. Duncan! Well, and her appearance is definitely very fun and interesting. It's everyone's like, what? And she has to join the grips, and then, and Courtney is definitely another character that honestly is like very up and down this season, where she can have her fun moments and she can be hilarious at times, but there are some moments I'm like, yeesh. Really went to the wrong parts of her personality. She was actually very likable in her first time, not like kind of made it the opposite. But there was fun moments with the challenge and everything, and then Lisa them losing, despite being told not to vote out Courtney. They vote for her anyway, and then Owen ends up getting the boo with her vote. Which leads to actually a very wholesome scene of him actually getting his speech going, so like that alone elevates the episode. Then forced him actually leaving LaShawn, which I was like, well, tell me that's not the Gilda Christie. So yeah, I saw an episode. I'm not sure why I rank it, but I probably would put it behind the disaster episode or between disaster episode and the horror episode. That's probably why I put this another solid episode. And now we get to another great episode, but it's really cool because One Bugs PC, which parodies caveman movies, or the Stone Age. It's just more forgettable than anything. I mean, it does have the occasional good moment where, I mean, Courtney ends up kind of bitchy and made so much than she should have, honestly. And then the whole thing Courtney's back and forth, honestly, him in the Kiwis, which, man, when there's someone's like, why do you always go with the Kiwis? Why? And of course, Hera trying to get Courtney's hair because she still misses her hair. Some of that, though, I really don't have much to say about it. It's perfectly decent. It's just kind of forgettable. And thankfully, $1 Million Babies is another good episode. Episode 1 I've always rewatched constantly, and one I still do enjoy. I enjoyed this when they actually finally forgave Lashana for everything that went on with everything going on, and then it had a lot of sports movies, and it gets a pretty hilarious one, especially this whole Batman scene where Chris claimed it's a Batman movie he was in, which is, again, it's pretty heartwarming yet pretty hilarious at the same time. I'm trying to do his acting skills, and then Chef getting emotional about it, like, yeah, but you get a lot back and forth for basically Beth trying to obviously contact her boyfriend, but Chloe's PDA, and then just see all the stuff how that was Shauna ends up saying to everybody, which at least I want to be present on Shauna. And you still get to put with Shauna with the challenges, like the whole fight between Courtney and Duncan at a dirty pulpit. And Duncan trying like, don't mind trying to win. And then end up finding a baby in there, which again, and saying, Mama, the baby saying, Mama, like that gets me every single time. And it gets this whole moment, like the shit what Shauna ends up having is actually pretty wholesome moments. And while it's at least them losing because the other guy tries to kiss off and do shit for Chris McClain, which of course they did. They end up saying Lashana and end up voting a header. Which leads to a nice combination between the rivalry between Lashana and Heather. So yeah, overall, hilarious episode, very good storylines, definitely going pretty on the list. Not my favorite season, but it's definitely going high up on the list. And then we get to Dolly on the Merger, which is an episode I've never been fond of. This is the Merger episode this season. And we get the lowest tendencies of Courtney here, honestly, like trying to get everyone to spend the money by not having them die, which is, yeah, opposite parody of spy episodes, and episode, it's kind of one of the more forgettable episodes of the season. Like it does showcase some best moments of Justin as a character, him actually trying to be a smart person at least, which again makes for some pretty hilarious moments. And it ends up with not being the challenge and everything, and everyone, thinking Courtney and Lindsay of all people win challenge, and going to a cheese factory, which Courtney did not like. So, yeah, again, don't have much to say about that, much honestly. Sorry. Thankfully, Superhero ID is another good episode. In fact, it's probably my favorite season so far, actually. I always thought this actually be my favorite of the season, honestly, and Look back on it, I would probably say that honestly, yeah. Super ID is another really good episode. Honestly, it used to be a movie, but obviously has changed a lot since this season, but that's a story for another day. Yeah, but it's hilarious. Everyone trying to bring super costumes and everything, and Lindy just flat out just rubbing off Wonder Woman, which is hilarious. Like, and then Courtney ends up being Cricket, ends up winning the challenge, and he gets a fun back between Courtney and Duncan and characters. Maybe some pretty humorous moments, and then the whole studio challenge moments are pretty hilarious. Captain now built up of a Harold again. Again, Harold steals every episode he's in, and there's no exception. And leads to Courtney with visibility, and leads to one more big dilemmas of the show, honestly. But basically, Duncan, Courtney, and Harold want to run a Lashana. Duncan, Courtney, and Justin, and try to roll Lashana. Lindsay, Beth, and Lashana want to run Duncan. So right now, Lashana wanted to be in alliance with Harold Duncan, but whatever, I guess. Because I just kind of forgot that storyline. And Harold ends up being still in the middle, honestly, obviously not wanting to run Lashana. But obviously, the fact that obviously he has a thing for Lashana, and that's kind of been the storyline for most of the season. And majority of the show in general. And at least to a shocking moment, he actually does vote out Lashana. Like, I remember being like very shocked at that moment, and I still stand kind of the same way. Like, whoa, Harold actually voted out Lashana. Lashana! And then Harold being upset about it right away, and leads to some very wholesome moments. So, yeah, definitely going top of the season so far. And now we get to the third aftermath. Oh, win or lose. Which, the first one being okay, and the second one not being good at all. The other one, thankfully, is one of the best of the season. And by a landslide, the best aftermath so far. And probably one of the best episodes of this season in general, honestly. Easy one, and honestly one of the most hilarious episodes of the entire show. Obviously, Jeff's still on a high horse, honestly, but everyone's aware of that, and then they end up making fun of him for being how he is and everything. We end up getting Owen coming in for the electric chair, and then basically he ends up admitting a lot of the terrible things he's done, like my god, which leads to some very which and in that moment, Liz fresh from my hair, he ends up admitting a lot of territories, and I was like, Owen, that's not what Jeff meant. We ended up making all this for nothing, and then realizing that Owen fan was so confident that Owen's fan was so confident about them winning the money. They end up buying like a extra large cheese seller, which Owen ends up being happy with. Which again, one of the reasons why I love Owen is his constant positivity and him being always good and everything. Again, I'm always a sucker for those kind of characters, and Owen's no exception. Section and Jeff is like, what the hell? Like, why aren't you more upset about this? Which again is like, whoa. David doesn't run an episode because everyone's more aware of his more asshole behavior. Honestly, and then see Lashana. Hedda makes a pretty hilarious moment, but Hedda ends up making that Beth, actually, I think Beth actually smart. And then Lashana actually admitting that she likes Harold, which is like, aww. Honestly, and then they end up getting back at Jeff by having him beat on the lecture chair. Which is one of the most hilarious, wholesome moments where basically Jeff is like, I don't want to be like this, honestly, and I love Bridget, I'm crazy about her, I'm sorry how I acted. So, and then, again, one of the most hilarious episodes of the entire show. So, yeah, I would say, I probably will still for a stupid episode, but it's definitely close seconds. And thankfully we get to another banger episode with The Princess Bride, which obviously bears fairy tale movies, and again, Dynamite 3 is one of the most hilarious episodes of the entire show. And this episode is kind of like a downfall for Justin, as he basically ends up getting hurt a lot of time, realizing he's his look, and ends up having a crush on Courtney. Because also, one of you do characters when they don't have much to do. Make fun of Lindsay's big feet apparently, even though I've seen her feet and they're not that big, but that's kind of the joke of the episode. So you get some actually fun Courtney aspect moments, some fun Harold moments, and again Duncan being Duncan, and well, yeah, I can say I also love Duncan this season. He also has some pretty hilarious moments. Again, kind of ask for no reason sometimes, but honestly, this is the case where that's kind of part of his charm, honestly. And he definitely has some hilarious moments in this episode as well. Like, everyone gets a chance to really shine here. Again, the whole Princess Courtney thing is hilarious. Again, Justin actually wanted to be with Courtney and sacrifice himself to basically, and then not wanting Duncan to win, drawing a lower effort between those characters. And then Courtney and then ends up that he has to fight Courtney, and then he basically knocks Justin off. And then Justin ends up getting voted out. They kind of actually did this fun fake out where basically they said that Duncan gets voted out, but it's like, oh, it's actually Justin actually. And I was like, it's not gonna miss me? So yeah, definitely another episode's going to top this list. I'm not sure if my fan honestly, but it's definitely in the top. Honestly, I'd probably put it between Aftermath 3 and the Super episode, but still not a good one. And now we get to another banger episode, and for one banger episodes in a row. And Get a Clue's not a good one. And the only thing I read is obviously a parody of the Clue mystery murder episode genre. And again, another pretty hilarious episode where you get like so many back and forth between all the characters. It could ends up being a bit too wide in this episode, such a I want a prize, I want a prize, I want a prize, which yeah, it's probably why I won't consider it like high up on the last couple episodes, but it's still not a good one. Again, Harold has his best moments, Lindsay has her best moments here. Like, I don't really have much I can actually say about this episode. It's just a very charming, fun episode with some characters that are the most hilarious and fun. Lindsay would end up winning and she's taking Duncan after thinking he was the bad guy. So yeah, not a good one. Probably would put it. I probably would put it at the bottom between the last 3 episodes, but it's still not a good one. And now we get to Rock and Rule, an episode that was definitely fun for the most part, but it's definitely no one's episode that's kind of ruined because of one signature moment. And of course, you know what I'm talking about. But you get some fun moments between like an Owen surprisingly comes back out of nowhere. Like no build up, he just appears. And in reality, they want to be like a spy to try and trick and try to play games with the players. And try to sabotage them so they can give them money because the whole cheese salad situation. Which honestly, I really don't mind honestly. The challenge is also pretty fun honestly. And while it's frustrating, obviously the princess will ever explain the actual rules here. Again, it kind of makes fun again. I was making fun with the rock and roll biopic genre. Again, you still get some pretty hilarious moments. Everyone trying to do the challenge right. And the paparazzi's moments, especially how we call Doris ends up like crying. That scene gives me every time. And of course, the scene where basically Courtney ends up like severely trashing everything. Of course, the hilarious one afterwards, she says, "My meditation teacher would have been so proud." And then being like obviously Duncan vote with Owen like Dorman's vote, Courtney's by her winning immunity. And then we get to the other moment that Eve ends up burning this episode definitely at the bottom. A moment that Eve ends up burning this episode definitely near the bottom of the list. Not that the episode was honestly, but it's definitely down there. And you guys know what moment I'm talking about. The infamous moment where Lindsay accidentally votes herself out. Like, really? And it's definitely a lot of speculation that I think Lindsay actually was originally going to be the winner of the season, but something happened with her voice actress or something, so they ended up changing last minute. Like, I don't really know all those details honestly, but that's just all I know. But yeah, that moment ends up unfortunately ruining this episode, so it ends up being like, honestly, I say around right on set Aftermath 2, honestly. Because there's also fun moments here, but that moment single-handedly ruins this episode. But then we get to another good episode with Crouching Tiger, Courtney, and Owen. Episode I've always like enjoyed rewatching, and yeah, I'd probably put it near the top of the list actually, because despite being a war challenge episode, it's also not a very hilarious episode where basically ends up being boys versus girls. Owen ends up not being challenged to sabotage the other players, but he does a terrible job at it. Hilarious. It's actually fun to see like Harold Duncan actually trying to work together this episode. While it doesn't get ruined, it's still pretty refreshing and fun to see that. And then seeing Courtney trying to formalize with Beth and the link she'll go to get that alliance. Which is great stuff. Like, and of course, the Harold of course, Harold being Harold and everything in the end challenge, and him falling ship with a snail and everything. Like, yeah, definitely going near the top of the list, honestly. Don't actually much to say this episode, but the latest you might definitely put it probably high up on this rank. Definitely put it high up on the ranking. And we get to another interesting episode in 2008. It's an episode I actually remember when I actually originally did it at the top 10 best total drama episodes list. I think back like 2019, I believe. I don't remember when I did it honestly, but I remember I did it like a long time ago. I don't know how this episode actually on the actual list. Obviously, I don't think so now, obviously, but it's a perfectly decent, solid episode. It's one where basically, like, the whole Beth and Gretchen Hill storyline definitely sticks this episode, in my opinion. That's one I think growing up I never was a fan of, especially her kissing Carol with throw up in her mouth. Like, yeesh. Like, Beth just acts like an asshole in this episode, and, well, she definitely has, can be an asshole up and down throughout the season, but here, like, ugh, ugh. Yeah. But it was a fun moment here. Obviously, everyone getting like kissed from home, honestly, and not gonna have like a pet tarantula. Angela, Beth getting a ring pop, and then everyone getting nunchucks. And he gets a fun challenge mode, obviously, and of course, the last one with Chuck is real. He gets a Patty Owens butt that ends up when he realizes what's the bill was like, has shaking, just hilarious. And of course, he realized a mistake with the challenge, which is going last, and then everyone like drew up severely. Submission was some pretty hilarious moments, and about standing up to Courtney and everything. And all ends leading to, fortunately, Harold getting the boot. But at least it's a very satisfying way for him to go out, especially him banzing Duncan. Which is like, yeah, that alone actually puts the episode a bit higher than I normally would, honestly. Honestly, because it's a decent, solid episode, but that weird stuff from Beth and Harold does bring it down a little bit. And honestly, I don't think it's like a top 10 all-time best episode of the show like I originally thought it was, but it's decent, solid at best. But thankfully, top dog is another top 2 episode of Total Drama Action. Again, it's not a very simple episode, basically ends up being like an animal body trauma episode. It's funny that you try to come up with points movie genres. It was your animal body or die in a coma movie. Like, that line just gets me every time. And it's done basically like by trying to form bonds with the animals and everything. But for Raccoon, Duck and Chameleon. When they're trying to go on with bears, also pretty hilarious. And Owen also be like a sabotaging all the challenges and everything. The actually goes pretty well here, actually. Maybe with some pretty hilarious moments, fun character moments. I think Courtney got a bit too tight here with this episode. They actually end up, well, Oscar and the end up talking about the relationship. Then Courtney gets Duncan like a 32-page essay to how to correct all his faults so they want to get into a serious relationship. Which just goes to show the relationship was definitely going to be doomed to fail, honestly. But it's another like very hilarious episode. Again, it goes a bit over the top, especially with there being a lot of raccoons and like a sanctuary, which is strange for a reality show, but you know, whatever. And the realized that Owen is being cheated. Duncan actually votes off Courtney, and then Owen basically gets fired for getting caught. Which one of these as Duncan's better than Final 2. The most random Final 2 ever, honestly. But overall, another great episode. Now we have a couple episodes left after to go and an epilogue to go. And now we hope you all enjoyed this ranking so far. Now we get to Mutiny on the Soundstage, which is basically the penultimate episode of the season. Which shows basically them going through all the challenges of the season and trying to answer all the questions and then all that stuff. And well, meantime, Chris and Chef end up getting into like a big fight about everything. And then basically, Kim and get into a fight and leads to a lot back and forth, which I found surprisingly compelling, actually. We're not getting a relationship between Chris and Chef, honestly, but you know, seeing what they went through in the season, it's kind of touching, actually. And seeing Duncan back for people talking with Beth, and then Beth actually, and then find out Beth actually realizes she knows a lot about the players, but not gonna know squat about anybody except Courtney, which is again hilarious. But yeah, we get some pretty high moments and it ends in a tie. So that's bringing down a couple notches, honestly, but it's another good episode of the season. And now we get to the final episode of the season. I'm not for Who Wants to Pick a Millionaire. But basically go through a lot of different challenges to try to determine who's going to win. Chris and Chef going on vacation, but they end up showing up best in front of Chris, which again is pretty hilarious stuff. And then they end up needing to come back and then basically trying to go for the whole like, jury question they normally do on Survivor. And they have them basically pick a winner. Pick who is going to Duncan or Beth. If you ask me who I think is the preferred winner told you mention, I'd probably lean towards Duncan, honestly. I think it actually makes sense, honestly, considering what he went through this season, how much focus he has gotten this season. So I want to be able to actually prefer Duncan as the true winner of total drama action. Duncan. Honestly, I think it's the more satisfying win, and of course you get the reveal that Brady ends up being real the whole time. And gets when I was like, I got all the prize I need. Well, that's supposed to make a prize. I don't like this thing. But yeah, we get some pretty hilarious moments, obviously, with that's recording not getting answer in, and then everyone like trying to write down the votes and everything, and not the best finale episode. I would say it's also on par with the finale, like around on par with the finale of Island. Honestly, I'm not sure what to say it's better, honestly, but overall, I'd say it's another episode that's actually very satisfying one on Total Dimension. So I say yeah, it's satisfying. So that's what I'll care about. Now, of course, before we get to my thoughts on the actual season and show you why we're every episode, I'm talking about the aftermath episode, Celebrity Mayhem, the Total Drama Action Reunion Special. Basically, Blaine Lee and this other guy get his name honestly ends up basically like getting the lives of what happened to everyone after the whole drama action, which is a very fun tip, especially like Trent, Cody, and Justin getting into a band together, and Harold also getting into a band as well, which is again pretty hilarious. Honestly, and overall, I think that bunch was fun. Honestly, I don't really have much to really. Unlike the last episode, I don't actually have much to say about this one. Honestly, it's just basically them trying to prove they're still famous, trying to put down out them, and then some group of people ends up getting selected along with Alejandro and the fan girl Sierra. So again, I don't really have much to actually say about this episode. It's a pretty fine episode, has some fun moments, but again, just not number one. Well, that's my thoughts on every episode of Total Dimension. Again, put my ranking up here if you guys want to see how I rank every episode this season. And again, I still enjoy action, honestly. Like, if some is the case for sequelitis, for again, you can kind of tell they're not sure what they're wanting to do with some characters or certain storylines, so they just kind of make it up as they went along, and you can really feel it. And there are some good episodes this season. There are also some good moments, some good characters. Again, Hill, one of my favorite characters of Total Drama after this season. So there's still a lot to enjoy in action, especially how they make fun of a lot of the movie genres and the cliches and come with these genres. But again, it shows a lot of sequelitis, and you also get some of the worst storylines in the show with the whole trends stuff. And again, you also get some pretty bad episodes here as well. Well, and even I would say even like the best episodes, I wouldn't say like top tier Total Drama. But I do have some good moments here, and I still say it's a good season as a whole. But again, not ever reaching any heights of the original Total Drama. And you can really tell, but that's all I'm gonna say.